All right, welcome back to the Beer Parlour Podcast. I just had to come on here and record this video, just give my opinion about this trending topic that has been all over the place about a man. I think it started last week about a man who couldn't provide 500,000 naira to the hospital for as a deposit to help the delivery of his wife. I still don't know the full context. I just know a little bit about it, but I'm going to play a video here so we can all watch the video and also just have our opinions and thoughts about the video, just respond or react to the video, right? But in general, the context, like I said, I don't have the full context, but the context here is this man has 2 kids and his wife was pregnant, and he went to the hospital at the time for his wife, or they went to the hospital, and he couldn't provide 500,000 naira as a deposit to the hospital, which you might hear it and you might get enraged, you might get very emotional. Anybody would get emotional, right? But let's take a listen. Again, this is the only context that I have. I don't have all the information. This is the only context, and I believe this is the only context that most people have anyway. But let's take a listen to the video, and then we can react, or I can react and share my thoughts. And maybe you can leave your comments in the comment section as well. Subscribe, but don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and help promote this channel, the Beer Parlour Podcast. We're trying to hit 10,000 subscribers. We're currently at 4,000. Don't forget to subscribe and all that. Let's take a listen to the video and go from there.
Say when you get to the hospital, they should allow you to go and borrow money and come back. That's irresponsibility. The
highest irresponsibility. It's okay. There are many ways to every story. Maybe because you heard that the hospital didn't ask me for the money, that's why you are concluding this way. Sir, with due respect, this is not my first child. When my wife gave birth, we take care of her to the best of my ability. And I never come public or come meet you, sir. Make you borrow me money, make I take do antenatal, make I take do naming, or make I take feed my children. Do you understand? So, excuse me, sir. I saved money, but I didn't save 500,000. Okay? I saved money for that day. But they asked me for 500,000 deposit, not full payment. 500,000 deposit. I didn't have that. All the money we I think gather that day, no go pass 100K. Yes. I don't know if it's an offense if you don't have up to 500,000 when your wife won't born. I don't know if it's an offense to now live below 500,000 a year, because you are talking as the highest irresponsibility, because I don't get 500,000. Now wow. So it's even a crime to be poor in Nigeria. Anyway, it's okay. But I'm just doing the video not to insult anybody. I'm doing this video to let you know, sir. Say I saved up money, but I didn't save up to 500,000. Of course, I don't have 500,000. Immediately they asked me for 500,000. I told them that I have some money, but I don't have 500,000. They should give me some time. In short, I said before the end of that day, make they give me till the end of that day, I will raise the fund. All I have to do is to probably sell some of my animals. If you don't reach, call my family member, call our own family member. Sir, Mr. Ruben, unfortunately, the second they were able to raise that money, we will spend for mortuary. So, Baba, make una the reason why before now they conclude on talk. So, if they don't ask me for money, will I come out and say they ask me for money? If I ask you for something, if you say you don't get, you'll be to find another way to go. Will I be begging you? Why will I beg you when you don't already tell me say you don't get? I saved up money, but I didn't save up to 500,000. And 500,000 they requested for was a deposit according to them. And I begged them to let me drop whatever I have so I can raise the remaining before the end of that day. They said no. They said no. So now, is it a crime now if as an ordinary Nigerian, if you cannot save up 500,000 when your wife is heavily pregnant, is that a crime? No, I mean not the reason I went. Yes, I did not register at Asala, and I'm not claiming that Asala was the one who killed my wife. But then the midwife will go. When as he said the thing, they below they come, my wife no fit push again on the week. Now I say we do scan for your information. And she did go to, although I know they follow and go the clinic or the place where you go to take medical treatment, but She did tell me when she come back, and I did give her money to go do tests, to go do all the necessary things. And my wife was perfectly.
And you impregnate a woman,
All right, that's all of the video that we can play for now. But hey, there's a lot to unpack from this video, or there's a lot for me to unpack from this video. The first one I'm going to say here is this guy, I don't know his name, but he's not a lazy person. This is someone that actually works. You know, he has a business, according, at least from the 3-4 minutes video we just watched, right? You could hear him say, I would have sold my animals. That means he rears animals. You know, so he's not someone who stays and just begs people for money. That's one thing, you know, people should recognize from this video. Another, you know, maybe people might be saying, oh, you don't have 500,000. Let's talk about it. The minimum wage in Nigeria is what? 77,000. It was just, you know, increased to 77,000 right now, right? I don't think he's one of the people who earns minimum wages, because it sounds like he has a business, like I just said earlier, right? Let's say 7,000 naira minimum wage. If anybody living on minimum wage in Nigeria cannot realistically save 500,000 naira in a year, cannot have that amount of money in a year in their account, because 7,000 naira minimum wage every month, that's what? Barely $1 million naira in a year, right? You're going to pay rent, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. How are you going to save 500,000 naira in a year? Someone earning minimum wage. And this dude seems to be someone who, he definitely is not a lazy person. He's out there hustling, doing stuff for himself. Another thing to unpack here, he's someone who cares about his family. And I'm going to share a photo of him. This man seems to be someone who loves his wife, right? He loves his wife. He said he's not begged anybody for money to take care of his kids. When his wife goes for antenatal and tests and scans and all that good stuff, he said it on here. I can only go by what he says, right? He said he paid for scans, he paid for antenatal, he pays for all that good stuff, you know, prior to her pregnancy. It's not like the pregnancy took them by surprise, right? So they've been planning for this, and they planned for a midwife. The midwifery thing is not free, right? That also, he definitely paid someone, the midwife, to come help his wife deliver, right? It wasn't like they didn't have any plan. He had a plan. They had a plan, and things happen. People also go to the hospital and also, you know, lose their lives in childbirth. So it's not like this man didn't have a plan. He had a plan, but unfortunately, what happened. And people are coming for him like he didn't plan and all that good stuff, right? And I guess this video by Ruben Abati got to him so bad. That's why he had to react to it. I mean, anybody can be outraged, can feel a type of way just reading the headline. Man loses pregnant wife over 500,000 naira. Anybody's going to be like, oh, 500,000 naira. You can't have 500,000 naira. You don't have 500,000 naira and you're getting a woman pregnant. I'm going to be honest, right? When I heard this news sometime last week, I was outraged too. That's why sometimes it's always good to hear the other person's side. Me listening to this guy now gave me a rethink. I'm going to be open here and honest and say I was outraged too, like 500,000 naira. But that's you know, you sitting at some pedestal and then looking at the world from your perspective, thinking, you know, the world should operate the way you see it, right? From your own perspective. But people are going through a lot. Think about the minimum wage analogy I just gave you, right? 77,000. Someone earning 77,000 in a year. How is that person going to be able to save 500,000? Someone earning 77,000 in a month. How is that person going to be able, realistically, to save up 500,000 naira in a year? How many, as a matter of fact, how many Nigerians can right now say they have 500,000 naira in their bank accounts, just cooling in the savings account, right? You know, but obviously, it's, you know, you look at the amount and you're going to be like, oh, you don't have this amount of money. Why are you still getting your wife pregnant? This dude had a plan. He had a plan that he followed. But unfortunately, the plan didn't work out. And everybody now seems to have an opinion and want to bash him and even continue bashing him even after he's made this video. Telling you he didn't ask you for anything. He had over 100,000 naira saved. But the hospital didn't, you know, accept to take that money. How can you blame the man? How can you fault the man? He spent some money, obviously, for the midwife and still had some money saved up in that instance for the hospital to at least accept and admit his wife and take care of his wife. instead of you to, acknowledge the little that the man did and hold who you can hold accountable, which is the hospital. They have some accountability. They have some responsibility there, right? In the passing of his life, right? Are we going to say the hospital doesn't have any responsibility there? They do have some responsibility. Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and say this man doesn't have any responsibility in the passing of his wife, right? But if I'm being honest, from just watching this video, I don't know how I can fault this man. If I'm being honest, I don't know how I can fault this man. A grown man admitting that I'm a poor man. I'm a poor man. Yes, I don't have 500,000 naira. Is that a crime? A grown man. Do you know how much ego you have to bring down to admit to yourself that you're poor? How many people can admit that? And still, people want to bash this man. This man loved his wife. This man loved his wife dearly. You guys should let this man grieve in peace. Let this man grieve in peace. He did what he could do. Unfortunately, what happened. And now he's lost his wife. He's lost his unborn child. Now he has to solely take care of 2 kids. You guys should let this man grieve in peace. But anyway, that's all I could unpack here. I mean, I guess I got to... and I couldn't unpack the other things I wanted to say. But this is all I can think of right now. But anyway, you let me know in the comment section what you think. Was this man at fault? Was the hospital at fault? I think the hospital definitely has some responsibility. Please let me know in the comment section. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and share this with your friends. But with that, I'm going to say peace.